Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Darcy and I'm going to try not to hit the microphone so much this time. I want to work on my winter journal today. But you know, I have to go through the long version and tell you how I found the cover. Because originally I had a ledger book. A big long blue ledger book I wanted to use. Which I would show you right now, but I don't see it. Anyway, so I was at Savers. That's a thrift store we have here. And I found one of the monsters at the end of this book, which was a 1971 version. So when I find an actual vintage one, you know, I usually want to get it. And it even has an ad in the back and everything. It was 89 cents back when they used to only be 89 cents. So then our Savers, you know, it's buy 4, get 1 free. And I didn't have any cash on me. So to just pay like, you know, a little over less than $2 for one thing, that just, I hate using my card for that. So I looked for 4 other books. This is actually the last one I found, but I found this. I love books that are like this size. And then I'm making a journal for my cousin, and she loves tulips. So some of these will make some awesome journal cards for her book. And then look, they had some, I'm not sure if these are, sorry. Got to start this way. This is the front of the book. I'm not sure if this is Chinese or Japanese, but they had some mango ones there too. So I'm guessing it's probably Japanese. But I just went for the feel and the color of the page that I liked. No idea what any of this says. It's just pretty. I don't even know what year it is. I don't think it's that old. Somebody had a cat or a dog though. And then I did find a children's story hour. And they usually just, this has some pencil in it and stuff. But, you know, they usually, in fact, I'm going to have to take some of these out for my winter journal because it has the perfect size pages. Ooh, and there's some winter pages too. That's, I've definitely got to, let me mark that. This is going to be a pain. These, the school books tend to have string and staples keeping them together. So you may end up having to see me take that one apart, but I'm at least going to take this book apart. And so this is the one I found for my winter journal. I love it. It's got blue and green, and it's a little smaller than the other one, but it's a good size. The other one, you know, wouldn't show up in my One Monday Morning. It's a cute story too. So it's also got cute pages that I'll be able to use in here and in other things. One Monday Morning. And let's see. I don't know if I even looked at the, I just liked the cover. 1967, so also vintage. So, this is going to be my winter journal. Very excited. And I realized winter starts in like 6 days, so I better start doing something, huh? And then it had this part of, you know, they had that on there, and I used my heat gun to get the glue warmed up and was able to peel that right off. And the rest of that, I've got some lemon oil somewhere, and also some of that, the citrus oil spray from the Dollar Tree. I'll try to use on that too to get that cleaned up. So, let's see. This one has to be taken totally apart, and I probably am going to have to put a new spine on it. And this one has the strings like the other school book is going to have. So this is going to be not super easy to take apart. Where did my blue, where did any of my, that one's red. Oh, that was scary. This one's the extra sharp one. My blue one has a nice tiny, I just used it yesterday. Yeah, be careful with your knives. They's dangerous. Dangerous. I just used it yesterday, and this is where it goes. Why is it not where it's supposed to be? Let me move these out of my way. My plain regular markers that I thought were alcohol markers. I was very disappointed when I used one, and I'm like, that's not an alcohol marker. That's just a plain marker. That's the pink one. Don't get the decorative ones. I always tell you that. That's the X-Acto knives. Don't go for pretty. The Recollection one I don't care for. It always comes apart. Well, guess we're using these other X-Acto knives, but it's a little scary when you can't find your X-Acto knife and you're like, I hope I don't find it accidentally. All right, this one's nice and sharp though. Just want to get these, that's the best way. Well, I'm going to do a new spine on this, so, and even though it may end up being, I'm just cutting down down here to, let me see if I get that one off for now. These end pages are a little thicker. I want to get them out of my way so I can see a little better. There's the string right there. See this? There's this string right here. Let me see if I can do better with this one. Make sure this is on good first. Probably should change it's like layers of string in there. I've not seen one bound quite like this before. I know, go away from me. I know. Cut away from yourself. All right, and then it loops into itself. So I don't know if you can see all that or not. Also, I don't mind taking out the whole. I kind of just want to take the whole thing out first, easier to work with. Try to go away from yourself when you're using a knife, even if it means it's better to turn the book and go away from yourself than to hurt yourself. Oh man, my friend once, she was just like playing around and she was just kind of like going like this over her lap with a newspaper and just cutting the newspaper and totally sliced into her leg. She was a teenager when she did that. All right. Ooh, I'm going to keep that in there. Isn't that fun? An actual original. All right. Are these signatures? Let me see. Let me try to get these apart here. Probably would help if I could get this thing off. Because I think we do have some. At least I don't see the big staples in this, so that's good. That would have made it much more difficult. Yeah, see all these, I don't know if you can see, there's like multiple layers of string there. I'm not sure what that binding is called. I have not seen one like that before. Let's see. I want to get it so I can just pull those strings right out and then hopefully the book will just come apart. You know what I mean? I know this is not a fun part. It's kind of a tedious part to watch, but if you come across a book like this, you're going to want to know how to do it, right? I don't know how to do it. You just kind of do what you think you can do. So I'm just trying to get down to the bottom of all these strings here. All the way. So how's everyone doing today? Welcome any new subbies. I appreciate you and all my been here, not old. None of y'all are old. Unless you're my grandmother, you might be a little bit old. But I'm thankful you're still around. I don't know if my grandmother, I don't think she watches my videos. But, you know, you never know. I don't know that she usually just goes on YouTube. So yes, my 95 or 90, she's saying whatever your Betty White is, that's how old my grandmother is. They're a few months apart in age. Betty's older, I believe. A few months older. I don't know. Told my grandmother that once. You're the same age with Betty White. She kind of made a face. I guess she's not a fan. I'm a fan. I like Betty White. And they're both still kicking. Although my grandmother, apparently, she fell and they thought, and I guess she had a fracture on her somewhere, but the doctor had to x-ray and he said it was actually an old fracture. It wasn't new. It wasn't from the recent fall. But she could have smaller ones, so if the pain doesn't stop, he gave her a shot or something. So if the pain doesn't stop, they'll do an MRI. Poor woman. She's past week or two, she's been in a lot of pain because she did fall. Both my grandmothers fell this year. What's up with that? I suppose they're both is it nonagerians? I don't know. They're both in their 90s. My cousin likes to use that term. And they're both still doing pretty well. I mean, especially for their age. I mean, they've slowed down, obviously. And I don't remember everything all the time. And sometimes they might try to do more than they really should. Probably why they fall. But yeah, they're a great woman, both of them. I love them both dearly. I'm very blessed to have them. I wish that I lived closer, but I did get to see them this year right before all the COVID stuff because I had gone up for my brother's surgery. So, all right, how are we doing here? What's it look like now that I got all that out? Is there still... I guess it would help if I could cut them off, maybe. Maybe that's what I should do. I should close this. I should put the cover on this. I guess I don't need to be saving these little bits, do I? Put those in the trash. There's my little... Oh, I wanted these because they're just... I can get a little bit closer. Get a little closer. Extra dry. Alright, I don't have my fan on today, which is good. I mean, better for you guys if I don't have the fan on, because if you're wearing headphones especially, you can hear it. But I'm also almost 50, and sometimes my face gets hot and I need my fan. I'll tear off that back page. These back pages aren't attached to any of the other bits. And, alright, when I'm tearing off this back page, I think I'm able to get through and cut some of these strings back here. See, it's a tedious process getting the pages out of a book if you want to keep them intact. But I think sometimes it's worth it to keep them intact. Although, you know, the little washi tape never goes awry, does it? That was probably loud, huh? Also, I need to figure out a better placement for my mic. I moved it closer because the disconnected sound bugs me. You know, where like this should be ripping right now, but it wasn't always. Oh, look, there's more string in here. Oh my goodness. Man, they used to really bind books, didn't they? This is a weird, I've never seen a binding like this. I'm kind of hoping to never see a binding like this. You know what? It might have been a Coptic stitch from looking at, but it's not. Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. There's how many pages in the signature? About 3 pages. Oh, just 2, I think, in the signature. No, 3? Wait, where's the middle of the signature? Oh my goodness. I don't know. Maybe you don't really want to watch them. Maybe they're not even attached and I could have just ripped these out and cut them down and had it be done already, you know? Who knows? Then I could get started on my, I want an expandable. I might do even though it might be messy, if I put some Tyvek between it might be fine. I'm thinking about doing a, nope, none of these are attached to each other. I think they're glued in. Glued in and then weird stitching. Right? Is that one attached? I thought that one might have been attached for a second, but it's not. Nope. I just totally wasted my time. So yeah, these appear to be glued in. And then some kind of a Coptic type stitch. So, you know what we do then? Well, we find our handy dandy ruler. And remember that we're right-handed. and try to get it straight. And don't go too fast. And you don't have to press super hard, because I think that's where like people hurt themselves, is when they try to press down real hard. But if you have a nice sharp blade, you should be able to go slow and easy down the, it will just go through a couple more pages each time. Almost. One more time maybe? Just to get that back out. I could feel that it was coming off on that end. Oh my goodness, how many times? So yeah, look at that. I didn't lose too much. But if I had known that's how it was going to be, that it was glued in anyway, and I wouldn't be able to get the pages together, I just would have done that in the first place and not wasted y'all's time. So now I have these pages, and that's okay. I can still use them, and I'll just have to connect them either with washi tape or oh, I'm going to be getting some washi tape. Oh, it's probably not going to be here till, I don't know, it's probably coming from China or something. Even though I ordered it on Amazon. That's what I don't like is, if I'm going to order from China, I'll go to Wish or what's the other one? AliExpress, and I know it's going to take a long time. If I'm ordering it on Amazon, I don't like that there's, I would like to know, you know? Free shipping, sure, but how long do I have to wait? All right. I still gotta clean this cover too. All right, I'm gonna do pages real quick, and then I will get together the which pages do I want to use in here? Let's use these ones that have just funny things on them. Cute book. It really is. Don't want any more pages from here. Maybe some of the more blank pages. Oh, if we have I might want to use those as journal cards. Oh, I kind of like these too because they're just nice and plain. Alright. Got a couple sets of those. And then I was thinking of sticking this one in here. I think it was a piece of paper that's a little bit bigger than, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's like 12 by 6 or something. So it's actually a little bit bigger. That's a piece that I dyed. And my winter one, so I'll just use this snowflake bit in here. And I probably should measure my book and see what size pages I actually need. Actually, this will work. Somewhere around here. Be a little bit longer, right? So really I can only go half and half. So I just need to cut off 2.5 inches. That's it. So on a 12 by 12 inch piece of paper, I just need to cut off 2.5 inches, and that should be a good size. And fold it like this. I will do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch in this, I believe. Unless I decide to do, I'll do this in case I decide to do a hinged journal. Because if I do a hinged journal, then my spreads will have like the same page on each side. Because I would, oh my goodness. Getting things folded straight is a pain sometimes. Which is the side I cutted? Cut. I'm just trying to get my edge straight on the end here, so at least that's even. So if I do a hinge journal, then the hinges would go here, and this would be a full spread for me to work on. Perfect. See, that'll be perfect. And then I wouldn't even have to do a spine because the hinges would be my spine. But I would connect these with something. I'll stick that one in the front for now. And I'll do some music pages. I think I have a lot of pages, so I guess I could just do one of these. And if I just cut off the excess and then cut it to about there, that should work. You guys like really precise with your measurements too? By precise, I'm being sarcastic. I don't know. I find if I try to be precise, I actually end up having to cut more. It's kind of dumb. Now, I'm feeling a little sad today. The pastor I grew up with passed away today. And his family believes it was from a broken heart. His wife passed away about 6 months ago. So, you know, next to God, she was his life. And, I mean, I know he's in a good place. And he's, you know, he's doing good and everything. But I'm sad that he was sad for the last, you know, he was just so heartbroken for the last 6 months. Let's see, where's a safe place to put my cover out of the way? So cut 2.5 inches off of this. Got that weird thing going up at the top, so that'll be a good part to cut off. This is just a nice solid thick piece of Tim Holtz. I don't know why I'm putting that to the side when I need to put this one to the side. And then this is just a piece of cardstock. And I'll just fold that in half. Pages don't have to all be the same size. And then if I feel like maybe these pages are a little on the thin side to be putting in as a hinge journal, I could just attach them to the outside of like one of those. But I think as long as I do a good base on them, I'll be good. Okay. More snowflakes. Not that we get a lot of snow around here, but I like to think snow could come. Well, we're supposed to get our first snow on Wednesday. I think it, you know, is due to the nor'easter we're going to be getting. Or that the Northeast is going to be getting. So, but we're only, then it's supposed to turn to a wintry mix, and that's never fun. Alright, I just need to cut this down a little bit, and then I'll hinge it, and then I'll, you know, connect it to another page. So 8.5, so what was it, 12, 11, 10, 9.5 is my height. 9.5. So I don't have to take a lot off of this. And then I think 6 is good for the side here. I think, because that's what we have for some of the other ones, yeah. So 9.5 by 6, that's about my page size. It's always good to figure that out, you know, halfway through what you're doing. These are from a Smashbook. And so I found it at a thrift store and decided, wouldn't that be fun to to have the pages from. And so yeah, I got it. This one's making it a little bit shorter. Whatever. This one is probably just going to stay as it is, though. Whoops. Let's see how much I can get off of this end. This one will be a little bit on the long side. But if it sticks out, it sticks out. I just like what it says. So I love this die one. It makes me happy. 32. That would be the address I grew up on. And my current address has that number in it, along with my mom and dad's address that was after. Thought this was pretty, this blue. And then it's just got map on the back, so that's fun. So yeah, I just grabbed some of the pages from the Smash book that I liked and decided to stick them in here. And then I will save these pieces for some 9.5, right? For some collage. So I won't throw those away. Heaven forbid. Let's see. Might stick some snowmen in there. Although, will I be able to cover up snowmen? I don't know. But they can still go in there. I'm going to keep that length and cut off till 9.5. Yay, not cutting off any snowmen. Look, I can cut these down and use them as embellishments. And I just like the look of this birch tree, so he's going to get attached to something somewhere. 9.5. I think I have another page that's kind of a birch tree as well. I don't know how many pages this book is going to be. I was thinking about using these plaid pieces. I want this one though for winter more so. Let's see. Now, I was thinking of using this one because I won't likely use this page in a book so much, so I won't mind covering it up. Talking I made on Sunday. That's stuff I started, and it's just scraps got stuck in there. Let's see. We've got, like, this one has a dark background, which will be fun. Warm winter wishes. Have a cozy Christmas. More of the warm winter wishes I was thinking about for that. But if we're going to paint over it anyway, it won't really matter. But this one I thought is really pretty. Put in there the fondness of it. Alright, so definitely that one, and I think that one. And I have the other birch one, so I'll save that one. And then I have a couple snowflake, whoops, sorry. I think I'll use the pine cones, actually. I was trying to decide which ones. Alright, and then, so yeah, I think I'll use these 3. And I'm really thinking about that hinged journalness of it all. And then I can make it as thick as I want. And if I wait to add the cover on, I can add pages if I want to. I mean, because this could be a perpetual, but I don't want it to be too bulky to work in either. And I suppose I could just kind of put it together later. Alright, I think I really can 2.5 inches is what I'm cutting off of here. I don't think I cut that straight. Not even a little bit. Oh no, I guess it's not too bad. I mean, a little bit straight. I guess we could say it's a little bit straight. There's this weird thing about, I want it to be centered a little, not totally centered. I don't know, I just didn't want it. Because once I put the hinge over here, so, wait, oh, that, I didn't have to cut as much off of theirs. Oh, no, I just put it in the wrong place. I'm like, I thought I should have cut more off of there. There we go. It's a little bit more. I don't know what else I would use this for. Because it's got silverware on it. I don't know. Rusty silverware at that. What else can we use in here? I had a bunch of pages. Where did I put them? I just had them in a plastic bag right near me too. Wait, okay. Right, bag of papers. Where'd you go? Oh my goodness. Yes, I know. Oh, nope, that's not it. My goodness. Hold on. Alright, this is what I'm talking about. And I might have more somewhere, but... So, I want to stick this blue chipmunk in there somewhere, I think. Or did I save that for the decoration? I don't know. And I might stick that in there. But definitely want... Got some book pages that I want to stick in here. This is just from and they have nice, yeah, this one's a alphabet book, nice and thick pages, which is nice. Let's see. All right, good. I just have to trim off just a little bit off of this side, and that one's good on that side. That's what I like about the big books. They work good in these bigger journals. Yep, I've got some book pages, and I have more I could use, but these are the ones that I have pulled here. So I might stick in that lavender page too, just for a pop of, well, that's the one I'll probably do close to February 19th, which is my mom's birthday, and that was her favorite color. So, now, I like to have words, so this one's good for words for the background. And then if I want to save the mice, I can. I don't have to cut them down. Alright, it's plenty tall enough. And I could leave that raggedy edge. It wouldn't hurt it. It would be just fine. Alright, I like this rabbit. I'm still going to cut off the raggedy edge on this one too. It just makes it feel more flimsy. And the egret, or whatever this is, he might get painted over. Let's see, where's my bunny? Okay, the bunny still shows if I do this. So the ones that I know that I'll definitely paint over, I'm putting towards the middle. And I know it probably seems weird that I left the white bits on the outside of the ones like with the snowflakes and stuff. But I want that colorful background to start with, because it will hopefully show through some. Alright, and am I able to get this off of here? This has this mess right here, which I don't want. But it's like the right width, and close to the right width. But if I have to, a husky, I like the husky because I think of it as a winter dog. Really don't want to have them in a hot climate because that makes it uncomfortable for them as far as I know. And my uncle always used to have huskies. He didn't have a dog in it. They have a cat now. They don't have any dogs now, I don't think. If they do, he still lives over at his old house, and the dog, like they have a dog house over there, and his son lives there now. But his son had his own dog, so I don't know. Also, I don't know if he still has that dog, because his ex-wife might have taken him. Because I think they got it for her anyway. I don't know. There we go. Oh, and also, well, it wasn't a Silky Toy Terrier, but my work dog was a terrier, 9.5. A Yorkshire Terrier with similar colorings, and she died this year, which makes me sad. All right, and I may reinforce this page with a little bit of washi tape before I put it in. And let's see. It's Canine Psychology. I figured this one, I don't mind painting over all the pages just because, you know, they are, it's more about medical stuff in the, because the dog book had like all the breeds and stuff, and then had like a lot of informational stuff in it too. So I grabbed a couple pages out of that book, and then we had the Norman Rockwell book, which, oh, I'm going to turn it this way. I just I like the picture of him, and I kind of want to keep it as much as I can. That cuts off a lot of it, though. All right, we're going to fold him in, because I don't want to lose that whole page. Plus, I like the little gossipy ladies on the right. It makes me laugh. That one I don't mind so much cutting off. And then, what are we going to do about the bottom and the top? Well, let me see. I cut there. Did I cut off any ladies? Nope, didn't cut off any ladies. That's good. And all the ladies are at the bottom, so 9.5. We're just going to lose that helmet up, part of that helmet up there. And I won't paint over him. He's just an inspirational bit. All right. What do we want to do with our rat? Should I cut him and put him sideways maybe? Or, yeah, I think I will. I'm gonna get slither off the side there. And fold them in half. These are nice thick pages, which are great for an art journal or a glue book. So yeah, when you can find some book pages, they don't have to be, that's the thing, I don't generally try to use vintage pages in my art books or glue books, because they're just going to get covered up. But sometimes I like to, because I don't always cover up every page either. Sometimes I just have little bits in there just to look at that I like. Like if you see my autumn journal, you'll know there's some pages I left for me. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. This is also, this one's like over 12 inches long. This is a really big book. I was thinking, oh, what a fun glue book that would be. But, oh my goodness, it would be so big, wouldn't it? I'm okay height-wise. I'm just going to have to cut it down just a little bit. 6 inches. Not much. Yeah, it was just almost. It was almost. I'll have to put glue on that side. It was just over 12 inches, right? Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was trying to say. Not almost. It was just over 12 inches. Look at the little tiny helicopter. Little tiny blue helicopter right by my thumb. Okay, this would be easier if I had to do it on a flat surface, right? Pigeons. I don't see pigeons around here in Northern Virginia much. When I was growing up, I lived downtown in a fairly large town. It was still a town, though. And we had pigeons all the time. Alright. He's going to get attached to something else. But he may end up getting just folded over to attach to something else. And that's just because I wanted a little cozy blanket. It might get covered up on this side, but I probably won't cover that up. And this one, I don't know. It's not very thick. I don't know how it will do. I'll just leave that one to the side. Not like I don't have enough pages in here. I have lots of pages. Santa Claus. He's supposed to, I was thinking about putting him in my art journal, I think. I think they were supposed to be for Christmas. In a Christmas journal somewhere, sometime. Although technically, hold on, I could put him in the very beginning, because like, let's see, winter starts on the 21st, and then we have Christmas. So I might go ahead and put him in there. This is Gyo Fujikawa. I just love her. I love her illustrations. Oh What a Busy Day is my favorite book of hers, and that's the first one I ever found. Oh What a Busy Day, yeah. And it was a 1976 version. And my favorite picture I used in Mike Graham's journal because it reminded me of my niece, who was born the same, as I said, 1976? Yeah, 1976, same year she was born. And I was just like, oh, it reminded me of her. Just sitting there looking at bugs, or looking at, looking at animals, hanging out with the animals in the woods, blonde hair. All right, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, I'm not going to count that one. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. That's almost 30. I'm going to round up to 30, which would give me 60, which would give me plenty. It's plenty thick too. By the time it's done, it'll be even thicker than that. For probably more than one season. Oh, there we go. At least 30. Which would, and I usually do a double spread. So this would be as one, I would count this as one, and this is one. So 30 will give me 60 spreads. And if I don't put the back cover on, I can always add to it. So I don't want to throw those away. I almost threw those away. Some of them I can throw away, but like, come on. So I think that's what I will do. So here's my Santa Claus one. He's going to probably have to go first. Show you the first few pages of hinging, and then you probably will not want to stick around after that. I'm going to put this one near the end because it'll work good when the weather starts getting warmer, and it's nice and sturdy. So, and I need to connect these. How do I want to? I think these I could just use washi tape. Do I have any? Oh, I'm going to use this French toile on these kings and queens and prince and knight and royal. Well, first I'm going to rip my tape, apparently. Oh my goodness. Why do you hate me? All right, let's get to the beginning. Just stick this right here so I can use it again sometime, hopefully, on something. And this one. Don't want to waste pretty tape. And when I'm doing a collage or something, a ripped piece is just fine. Okay. A little bit longer. And I will, if it comes loose, I'll add glue to it. But for right now, oh my goodness. Also, I should probably work with a flat surface, move all this other stuff out of my way. Right. So right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, sure, I'll move it and then I won't be able to find it. That's what will happen. Stay. That's the side. Stick that down there so it will hopefully stay. Then I'm going to put that about the halfway point. Whew, actually did pretty good. And this. And I'm going to leave just like the tiniest, if I can, a tiny little gap just so it will fold easier. And then I'm going to put a piece on this side too. It's going to cover her bosom. Do I want to use the same one? Actually, I might use this medical tape on this side so we can still see the picture for now. Don't know why, because the picture on the other side is the one that's not going to get covered. So this tape is good to use if you want to keep seeing your picture. It's just medical tape, micropore tape. That's the stuff that what's-her-name uses as washi all the time. And you could always put it on some plastic and stamp it and stuff and whatever and make your own washi tape with it. Is it Carol Tinson or is it Craft Junk Journal Ideas? The other lady. Sheila? I don't remember her name. Anyway, I think I'll actually do it that way. Ow! Because I'll be painting over that. Alright, so there's one page connected to your funny bone. I'm going to use numbers on that one. And I need another side. There's some color back there. And you know what? These don't really, these I can do separate from each other, and I might. So, I like the books the right way up. Hold on. Let's put everything the right way up. That would be nice. Alright, I'm going to connect these two together, I think. Hopefully that will work, even though they are... Oh my goodness. My body made a weird noise just then. Where's the end? There we go. Not usually that hard to find the end. But the letters would be cute with the books on the other side. And then just some fun colors on this side. Alright. I'm gonna fold that there and stick it down. Oh, and this one I can see easily where the halfway mark is because it's 2 rows of letters. So I just want to go to and then if I decide I need to glue these down, I'll just, you know, take off half, glue that half and lay it back down, and then do the other side, do the other end the same way. So again, I'm leaving a tiny little, which of course makes it not quite halfway on both sides, but that's okay. That's a little bit bigger of a gap than I wanted, but oh well. And I'm going to use this wide tape on this side. And I may end up even just covering that tape because I have some wide washi tape coming that is more, what's the word I want? Neutral. Oh, shoot. I grabbed my scissors and I totally moved the whole thing. Sorry about that. Oh, I should pause and do these and then do some hinges. I think I'll do that. You don't need to see me do 5 million of these pages. All right, let me do that. Okay, some of these pages I'm doing a little bit different. This one I folded over, same with the little pokey little puppy, so I thought I'd just show that real quick. So I'm just gluing that one down, and then I'm still adding a piece of washi tape as well. And I'm putting it right up to the edge. Oops. Putting it right up to the edge right there. Yeah, I kind of want it in the middle a little bit. And then I'll put a piece of washi tape in here. Which washi tape do I want this time? Doesn't really matter. It's going to get covered up. So why do you fuss about it, lady? Because I do. I just do. How about some map? It's a good wide one. That'll go over the... It'll hold it on really well, hopefully. Oops. So yeah, that's another way to do it, is if you just fold your paper and glue it on. And then if you want to, you don't have to, you can add some washi tape for added support to hold it. I don't know why I just put the trash in with the other washi tape. So there's another page. Yay! And then this one, I'm just, instead of folding it and putting it on the side, I'm folding it over and gluing it that way. Because, you know, I paused the camera so you wouldn't have to see me do all these, you know, the same thing over and over again. And then I join my pages different each time. And if I find a couple more pages, I'll show you another way too, which I've shown in another video. But basically, it's just, you know, like taking a strip of paper and folding it in half and gluing it. Alright, this doesn't want to stick. This one. If I can find the end again. Yay, I found the end. Let me go this way. Some of this I'm probably going to have to end up gluing down, but, and I don't want to get right up to the edge. I don't know why I don't want to. Oh, if I was doing a 3 pamphlet, I wouldn't want to get right to the edge. But I'm not, so it's going to get covered with the hinge anyway. Now I got to figure out my hinges, don't I? I think I have my book pretty much in some semblance of order. I mean, it's pretty random. Although I did try to put, like, these near the middle to the end, the Valentine and the purple. Oh, the Valentine's Day comes before Mom's birthday, so let's do that. So that I can do that. And then got my Mr. Rockwell on the front there, just as a little inspiration. I don't know if I'll cover up. I might do everything around the little gossipy ladies. Oh, and I do want to reinforce this hinge here. This, yeah. It's not super. It's because it was one of those bindings where it had a lot. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7 going on there? He does look like he's calculating in his head, doesn't he? A little bit. Put the numbers there. I like this blue. I like blue, period. But yeah, that little blue design I like. I will make myself in my winter journal, which will be more of a. My aunt has these seasonal journals that she made. So one for each season. You know, some spring, summer, fall, winter. And she just takes them out each year. So they're kind of perennial. Did I do that in the right place? Yep. I thought I had this even over here, and I guess I didn't. And so I want to do that. I want to have a winter, spring, summer, fall journal that I just take out each season and just play around in, and you know, it'll be fun each year to see what I did the previous year. And kind of like if I make this winter art journal a little on the thick side, I'm okay with that too, because look at the going on the back. I can always come back to it next winter. And who says I can't do like in the summer? I might miss winter and want to do a winter, you know, a winter kind of a thing in it, and I can always pull that out anytime. So he's gonna go first, and then I'll have Santa and the reindeer, because they'll be, you know, at the very beginning of winter. And then I had a bunch of these stuck in here, so let me stick one here. Let me separate them a little bit better. And then that'll be fun for a New Year's Eve type one, I think. And I don't have to do these in any, and I usually don't do them in any order either. Sometimes so it really doesn't matter the order. I just kind of wanted to space out the plain white and the book pages and the cardstock, just kind of space them out a little bit. And yes, I am recording. Okay, so for the hinges, you want something, almost forgot to put them in there. You want something fairly strong. That is going to be able to deal with all the bending. This isn't, I was thinking of straw paper maybe, but no, I don't think that would be strong enough. So, oh, I never did put him, oh, I missed a couple pages. That's all right. I can add them in a bit. So that one's going to go on the outside. Those will go on the inside. All right, I can add those. I'll just do a couple of hinges to show you. In fact, where did I put, like, these here that I used from the, the Smash Book. I think they'd be thick enough. You just want at least a lightweight cardstock, but you definitely don't want like a 20-pound copy paper. That would not be strong enough. So now I'm trying to decide. I don't think this would be long enough, so I'm going to cut them. I'm going to cut about 2 inches here. Actually, I'm counting 6 squares and then cutting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be a fun way. 4, 5, 6. So that one's a little bit shorter, but that's all right. I'm just going to cut one of those off and make these, because they're a little bit longer on the end anyway. And I'm going to spread these throughout. I'm not going to do them all on the same page. So, and then the die. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me get a couple of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll cut the rest in a minute. I won't make you watch me cut all that. I just wanted a couple for here. So I'm going to fold them so that the part I want showing is on the inside when I fold it. And these are long pages, so I may need to do 3, but I'll try 2 and see how it goes. So then I'm going to want my art glitter glue. Oops. Is this I think this is the art glitter glue, yeah. I have a smaller one too, but I left the cover open yesterday. And that was a mistake. Actually, it might have been 2 days ago. I left it open for quite a while. Alright, and I'm going to probably come down a couple inches from the top. And I'm not going to have these all in the exact same spot on all the pages, I don't think. And I'm wondering if I should have used the silicone glue, the Fabrifix, because of the washi. I don't know. You just don't want it to stick to itself, that's for sure. Alright, and you want to make sure that it is flush with the top here. That is the important bit. And then if you can give it time to dry before you connect it to the next page, all the better. A couple inches up. I'm just eyeballing it. And some of them I might do a longer strip, and that way the hinges don't all have to depend on, because you know it's an art journal, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to have all the same hinges and be consistent all the way through. It's just to have fun. So, and then what Amy does, Crafty Cat, when she does hers, is she'll usually press down here to make sure that they're flush, because your fingers aren't, you know, straight, so you can't always depend on your fingers. And then this one will get attached to the cover. And then what I'll probably do when it's attached to the cover is cover these 2 pieces with something. So, and then we have that, and then we connect our next ones. And I use a couple of these blue ones this time. Make sure I have the same size ones. I don't know why. So once again, folding them in half. And like I said, I'm not going to do them exactly the same width. I could. In fact, I'm not even necessarily going to have the squares on the bottom there. I put the squares on the top here. Just for funsies. Just because I can. Also, if you don't put them right at the same place, it'll help to keep it a little bit less bulky too, I think. So I'm actually going to, oh wait, I didn't want to do it that way. I'm going to actually go just above where my last hinge was for that purpose. It'll help keep it a little less bulked up, I think. I hope. We'll see. Don't matter. It's gonna be a pretty big journal anyway. And what I'll probably do with the cover, so, and then of course this will get connected here. I guess I should go ahead and do both, huh? And then show you that bit. While those dry for a minute, wait, am I going all right? Yes. While those dry for a minute, I will show you what I plan to do right now. I mean, everything is subject to change. I often change my mind, whether it's about placement or a cover or a binding. It's my prerogative. It's my art. I can change it how I want, right? Let's see. Make sure they're nice and even in there. Hold it down so it dries real good. Alright, I'm going to let that dry for a second before I attach the next page. It seems way further down, but no. I just did that one, then that one, and then next time I might go up here and do one in the middle in the next one. That's what I'm thinking. Like these scrapbook pages will work too. They're just a lightweight cardstock. This is from Hobby Lobby. And this one's nice and neutral, so I'll probably use that one. Might use the snowman too. So I could use like 2 snowmen together and one would be on each side, and that would be cute. So I will probably use them. Even though I cut them to be a page and then forgot to put them in there. Oh, the cover. I know I told you I was going to lose the cover. So I'll cut the top, I'll cut the binding off. And what will happen then is it'll look gross. Oh my goodness. Sorry, but my glue is just dripping all over the place now. So if you want to see a better tutorial on a hinge journal, you can go check out Crafty Cat. She does these little, mini hinge. And of course you can use just 2 on those, and I'll probably have to use more on mine, but and I'll clean this better in a minute. But I don't know, that was just gross and grossing me out. So let me move my pages out of the way for a minute, and then I can forget where I put them, because that's what I do. And I think I'm going to, because I want this to be nice and crisp and even, use my ruler again and come up to there, and then just come up away enough so I can get my blade in there. No, I can't get up against the blade easily. Let's see. There we go. Now it's going through. It's going all crooked too. That's going to bug me. But that's alright, because I'm going to be adding some fabric to it. That's what I was trying to get around to saying. Either fabric or paper. I will probably... Oh my goodness, that's pretty thick in there, isn't it? My fingers are out of the way. I do like having my cutting mat always here. Alright, and I will clean up all this here. I'll cut it off and clean it up, and I'll probably even, this is too thick to sew through. I won't be able to sew through that at all. But yeah, I'll cut this off. I know this video is already getting long, I think. And I'll sand this down a little bit just to make sure it's nice and straight. And I will put something over this so that I don't see the raw edge. So either fabric or paper, maybe even a little bit of just collage paper just coming in and out and just kind of being random. you know, like I could have like a longer piece and a shorter piece and a longer piece, and just kind of have them wrap around here, because these are not going to attach to each other. This will be the front, then all my pages will be in the middle, like so. And then this one will go, I'm going to cut that off too, but that'll go on the back and the spine will show. That's why I need to be nice and straight and even on my, so I'm not sure if I'll do the spine on camera or not. If I do, I do. If I don't, sorry. It is what it is. So now we do the other side. I think that's my tacky glue. See, we're going to see if the quick drying tacky glue is as good as the art glitter glue. I don't know. Maybe I should even just be using the silicone glue, because then it will definitely stick, and no matter what watercolor, ink, whatever, paint will not be an issue, hopefully. Alright, I kind of want to center it. Alright. Alright. I need to move this out of the way because I need to be able to get it. The thing I like about either the art glitter glue or the Fabri-Tac is that it dries faster, so that, you know, once I get it even, I won't have to hold it as long. Because you'll notice, even though it's quick dry tacky glue, I'll have to hold it a little longer. What's the matter, baby kitty? And I haven't done the bone folder on any of this yet, so that will help too. So you just keep going, next page, do your hinges. And the important thing is that you have a strong enough paper. And some people use fabric. And for this kind of a journal, maybe fabric would be good. I hate that I get glue everywhere when I do this. Ugh, kind of annoy myself. But at least the tacky glue and the art glitter glue dry clear and not as shiny as the other glue would. Probably could use hot glue too. So there we go. I've got, probably shouldn't have opened that until I was sure it was dry, but let me make sure it's straight again. Yeah, make sure it's dry before you go opening it, because otherwise it could move. So we have our first few pages, and I'll work on the rest off camera. So that is going to be my winter art journal for this year. I mean, it's my first, autumn was the first art journal I ever made. If you've watched my videos, you've seen it. That one I did a canvas cover, and it wraps around, and that way, no matter, the nice thing about a fabric cover is no matter how wide it gets, no matter how big it gets, I have this flap coming around, and even if it got like super chunky, it still would, you know, cover it. And I do like that it protects these sides, but I also like to put in tabs and stuff, and that did kind of hinder that a little bit. And this one I had a lot of different size pages, which was still fun. So, you know, everyone's going to be different. All my journals are going to be different. It's going to depend on, and before I put this one away, I'll do a final flip through. Probably around December 21st or so. Not that I won't play in it at all during the year, but, you know, mostly it's my autumn one. So, yep, there we go. I did promise I would record that for y'all, and I did, yay, and I went over an hour again. All right. Do you guys do an art journal? Or are you thinking about doing an art journal? It's fun to do. You don't have to do it every day. You just kind of when you feel like it. I use it for my mixed media mashups that I watch on Monday nights too. I watch them live usually when I can. When I can't, I do the prompts the next day and try to record them. They're on my channel. You'll see them. All right. Love y'all. Have a delightful day.